I am ready to fight God. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was legitimately surprised by the response the previous episode got. Normally, when it comes to reacting to series, no matter what series I do, the second episode or the second story arc after the initial one almost always gets the least amount of engagement. But you guys showed up and showed out. I was checking my comments all throughout my incredibly busy weekend, and let me tell you, I was legitimately impressed by all of the thoughts and the feedback and how you guys really seem to take to heart the theme of long suffering and patience that seemed to be espoused in the second episode. And I really appreciate that. What I love about my comment section, and you guys have been very mindful of the spoilers, which I'm very grateful for, but what I love about my comment section is that you guys always seem to be willing to discuss everything in a calm and reasonable manner. The internet is about the free exchange of thought, and sometimes that exchange of thought is more like an exchange of fists. When I picture my comment section, I picture spirited conversation over high tea because I'm bougie like that. Now, for those of you who know and for those of you who don't, my name is TK, your resident lunatic, and today we are watching episode 3 of season 2 of Good Omens. And I gotta say with this new direction that the series is taking, I kind of like and dislike the fact that it has this new character-driven direction. And you know, saying I like and dislike it is just a fancy way of saying that I'm quite ambivalent. I feel like this could have just been a whole nother show, but I'm not here to tell Neil Gaiman or anybody from Amazon what to do. Feels more like a spin-off. We have had neither hide nor hair of the Four Horsemen. No one's even breathed the word of the apocalypse. There's no real mentions of it despite like a smattering here and there. Are we gonna see Anathema? Are we gonna see what's his name? Percival? Pulsifer? Excuse me? That really makes me feel like Maggie and Nina have kind of been thrown to the wolves. I had to think about this for a little bit. And it seems like I'm not the only person who's noticed that Nina and Maggie's relationship, their chemistry seems to be a bit off. Now, this could be for a number of reasons. It seems like there was just a lot of things left on the cutting room floor. This is what I was afraid of, that we're going to introduce these characters and then cut the fat from their story because you want to make room for what the main characters are doing in the limited amount of time. Because it seems like a huge leap of logic for Maggie to just assume that Nina hates her after a conversation that they were sort of forced to have. You know what I mean? And maybe it's supposed to be that Maggie is very anxious, but it would be nice if we could see more of that. But when I first saw them, I was like, oh my god, they're so cute. I immediately shipped them. But the more they started talking, the more I wish that Nina's story was allowed to develop before Maggie's. Because I know they're trying to get the human parallels to the angel and demon that feel a bit more human these days, but it's not hitting like it should. Now, granted, it's only episode 2. I might just be overanalyzing, I might just be overthinking it. That's what this channel is about. I feel like they're throwing these characters under the bus. I hope there is a point to that, because if there isn't, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm gonna be a little bit frustrated. So this season has 6 episodes, just like the previous season. And I'm assuming, like the previous season, that it's gonna be a 3-act structure. I could be wrong, but one of my biggest fears, and I said this in the first episode before I reacted to it, that we're going to start asking a lot of questions that will not get answered by the final episode. Because the first season was a complete story. This second season is already starting to give me not exactly a complete story vibes, so we can justify a 3rd season. It doesn't vibe with me, but however, I do understand it. So I think that's more of a personal gripe than anything. I don't think it's a fault of the show. I just think it's running up against a personal preference of mine specifically. My biggest fear is that we're gonna start asking all these questions like, what's the deal with Gabriel? What's the deal with bees? Are they somehow intertwined? What's the deal with Maggie and Nina? Are they going to get together? Do they have to get together to legitimize this newfound human facet of Crowley and Aziraphale's relationship? And how exactly has Crowley Crowley and Aziraphale's relationship changed, and how will these changes affect how they interact with each other? I'm really afraid that we're not going to figure that out by the end of the episode, and I think that's one of the reasons people have been clamoring for a second season of Yuri on Ice for so long, and it was very recently confirmed that there never will be one. There are a lot of whats, but there are not a lot of whys. And I feel like just blanketing them with, well, things have changed, now that the apocalypse is no longer a thing, it feels kind of like a hand wave. One of the things that I think this show does wonderfully is show that these characters have just as many flaws as they do virtues. When you take a show that has a character-driven story like Arcane, they tend to show that the good tends to outweigh the bad, and if the bad outweighs the good, they go through the trouble of making the character at least charismatic. But this show doesn't really care what you think of these characters because they're angels and demons. They're above human perception anyway. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and I think that really adheres to the theme of the first season, where there are no good and bad people, there are only good and bad decisions, and that the worst decision you can make is one of ignorance. And I talked about this in the previous season. You know from jump that these characters, be it Crowley, Aziraphale, Gabriel, Beelzebub, Maggie, Nina, these characters will not make the right decisions. They will make some, but not all of them, which makes me think that what's going to happen at the end is that Crowley and Aziraphale are going to make a decision that is going to precipitate the disaster that leads the third season. So that's enough ranting from me, and since our headphones are already in, let's go ahead and commence with the drama, my friends. Okay, we're at the bookstore. Oh, we're with Gabriel. Aw. That reminds me of something. I'll put it in the text moments. I don't want to waste time talking about it now.
You make better coffee when you're happier, the girls notice. I'm perfectly happy.
Do we know each other? Are we friends? Yeah, you're my customer.
Save where it intrudes on my girls' welfare and quality in life and coffee.
Girl, what? All right.
One double Americano with
none of your business.
It's not on your face, Nina, love. Obviously.
Are we friends? Like, do you know me like that? Talking to me like that, bitch? And I am gonna have to mute this again. You're not making this easy. You should have kept the wheelchair around.
Hello? What's all this then?
Oh, Muriel, please.
I can unobtrusively monitor you without raising suspicion.
Yeah, no, He had another clueless angel to look after. Good lord. Muriel is immediately enraptured. And there's the box again. I'm not hallucinating. It is important. You're supposed to hold it, like, from the bottom. Yeah, they don't know what that is. They don't know what drinking is.
Look at mine for a while.
Yeah, slurping noses sound disgusting.
Who's this now?
I could have told you if you had not.
That's my name.
Of course it is.
Yeah, sure, sweetheart.
Yes, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? Just, or rather, no. 200 years.
Oh, so
But when I
close.
said yes-
Stop doing this to them. They don't deserve this. They're trying their best. Of course, they're trying their best for the surveillance state, but listen, they're cute, okay? Leave me alone.
I don't know how you lot have managed to stay in charge all this time. I'm not sure we have we?
I mean, the humans kind of come up with our own ideas. We've established that several times.
That's how you lot measure miracles. How many times they could have brought someone back from the dead.
That sounds like the maximum miracle, so yeah.
One fabulous kiss and we're good. I have a plan.
Please don't take my car. Crowley is trying so hard to establish this boundary and it's not happening. What?
Out. Now.
Okay, so I got it wrong. I got it wrong again the third time. That's a reference to Monty Python, and I'm a jackass. Oh, this is another flashback. So this is what was going on Downton Abbey while Matthew and Mary were arguing over whether or not to marry. Is that Gabriel? I keep calling him Michael.
Marveling at his own beauty.
Nope, someone's definitely here.
This one's mine, you bastards.
Strange time to be burying someone.
No, I think they're doing the opposite. Now, I don't know what facet of history this has to deal with.
Now would you like a wee hand with your corpse?
I see David Tennant using his actual accent.
This piss-drenched patch is where me and my pal sleep.
Crowley learns the pitfalls of homelessness. Someone is going hard on the coughing. That ADR, man.
You're going to hell, hen.
Damn! And neither of them care about the condition this poor child is in. My god.
I'm afraid are even, but people get better choice. You know, they cannot be truly holy unless they also get the opportunity to be wicked.
That only works if you start everyone off.
Everyone off equal.
Start
Yep.
someone off like-
Poor Elle is being talked about like she's not here.
A classical music that stays classical music.
What are you doing?
Why are you listening to NPR in my car? The ashtray? Ew. As much as cute as this is,
But it's pretty.
If you don't change it back right now, I'm gonna start selling people books. In fact, I might even give some away.
as cute as this is, that's definitely supposed to be like a blatant sort of crossing of boundaries. Like, it was funny, but once again, Aziraphale goes too far. Crowley gives him specific rules, and he doesn't follow them because he doesn't super want to. And not because he wants to spite Crowley, but just because he wants to do what he wants, essentially.
No news of a cursed enemy, my lord.
No? Tell me the moment we learn.
Oh, okay, Bees is worried. Okay, this is what I was thinking. Bees and Gabriel are like doing something, or like trying to do like a plan or something.
Rip out my tongue again.
I don't care, just be quiet.
Fine.
I'm trying to change my abusive behavior because I went to therapy. I think Gabriel took me to therapy. I think that's the plot twist we're looking for here. Maybe you should take them to the dentist next.
Because the Earth is the largest thing around.
Why?
You made it that way.
It seemed like a good idea when we were all talking about it. So,
Don't squish that fly. That fly is very important.
Sudden downpour. They're back out of the rain, bump into each other, look into each other's eyes, and ba-boom.
Some of y'all have told me in the Patreon comments that Crowley might be projecting a teeny tiny bit.
I was determined to thwart her monstrous plan.
No, she needs money.
And I'm afraid I must insist.
What do you want?
Oh, come on, Mr. Dalrymple. It's not brain surgery.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
You did this, didn't you?
Just an unexpected blessing.
Yeah, I'm dying. My friends are dying. We're all sick. We need the money, you fucking dickhead. And Crowley isn't really doing one better either. You could really just miracle her friends into a better state of being, you two.
You're both medical men. What is your professional opinion on that, Doctor?
This is the weirdest Am I the Asshole post ever.
My professional opinion.
You're clearly eating the bodies because you had a whole ass dinner table.
Is he?
And that is why we need a steady supply of cadavers. We need to cut. If we can't cut, we can't learn. If we can't learn more, a lot more, then how on earth are we going to win the battle against monstrosities like this one?
That little moment there with Aziraphale, that made my heart clench a little bit. Look at you on a little adventure. Oh! Well, look up who Dalrymple is while we're doing this. Oh dear. Yeah, Don Dalrymple was a real person. Okay, I was just making sure. Oh god. Aziraphale's on a little adventure.
Nothing to get the skinny lowdown on that mysterious song that played itself on your establishment's jukebox.
Alright, take it easy. Alright, Aziraphale.
Listen, I serve hundreds of people a week. I'm not gonna remember some.
I remember John Hamm, though. He has the squarish jaw known to man.
But you were right. Body snatching alleviates human suffering. That is a good thing. So I can help this time.
I don't trust you.
Or you can just miracle her into better place.
Big thumbs up from me.
Why would they give a shit?
And then...
Oh. I was honestly expecting Morag to be dead when they got back. Well, she's definitely gonna die now. Every time an old-timey London street person gets injured, they die of being dead disease. Now, they were just doing their jobs. A little bit.
This is all my fault.
Yes, it is. I'm glad you realized that, though. Oh, she's already dead. Y'all took too much time talking. And the whole time, I'm just sitting here like, you could have just helped her. If you wanted so badly to steer her in the right direction, why didn't they just do that?
Well, what if you fetch the cart?
People gotta do what they gotta do. Aziraphale. Gray morality is not for you, sweetie. Sit this one out. You don't see this shit?
I'm so sorry about your friend.
Yeah, I fucking bet you are.
What did you do that for? You'll kill yourself.
I don't know, this kind of stuff happens in hell all the time. Okay, noted. Cyanide is how to actually get Crowley drunk.
Life isn't worth anything, and then monsters like me come and dig you back up.
I have to stop.
Yeah, you gotta do this one by yourself, Azazzy. Just put him in the hat. I think you're a little bit discombobulated. This episode's kind of all over the place. Nope, too big.
Crowley, there really is no need for any of this.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Unless, how much have you got in your wallet?
About 90 guineas.
That should be enough. Give her that.
You 90 what?
Give her the money, Angel.
But what am I gonna do with 90 guineas?
Buy a farm and be good.
You could have given me this money the whole time?
Well, they'll surely have noticed downstairs.
There you go. I'm sorry. The thought of a statue of John Hamm is fucking laughable to me.
Mostly I just use it for Twitter.
Answer it. I'm sorry.
I think I found some clues.
Okay.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what happened to him? He left Edinburgh in disgrace.
I do want to throw out there that it probably wasn't, it was probably migrants and people of color that he butchered. I just want to throw that out there.
Blessings be upon you. And your phone. And
Oh shit, that's a new one.
Thank you.
Aziraphale's having the time of his life.
The other night. But can we talk?
You guys do need to talk. You need to be friends. At least.
I don't really know what's going on in your life, but I know that whatever happened the other night, I didn't lock us in.
What? What is this conversation? When have they interacted where she thought it was her fault?
I'm not angry with you.
She's not.
It's not about you.
It's not!
I mean, I've never. Well, we didn't. It was the power going out.
Yeah, my significant other didn't understand that.
Suppose I owe you an apology.
No, you don't.
Why?
I'd never. I'm not that kind of person.
I know. I'm not your type.
But you are. At least hug. Come on. Is it working?
That could have gone better.
A little bit.
Our booming was not the end result of that particular tempest.
Wrong kind of wet.
There will come a tempest, and darkness, and great storms, and the dead will leave their graves and walk the earth once more. And there will be great lamentations.
Okay, we're pulling from the Book of Revelation now.
It's getting closer.
We know that. That already happened, though. I saw that. You better bring your ass out here. Oh, Bee's unhappy? Well, that's news to me.
Yeah, not gonna happen. So, just excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Beelzebub and the Dark Council and all the forces of hell will declare war on your friend.
Shax is blowing smoke out of her ass.
You have no idea the trouble you're causing to you.
No.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's too late for that now, isn't it?
A little bit.
It's always too late.
Interesting. Okay, that was a very interesting episode, and I gotta look up some things and then we'll talk. Okay, I did a little bit of Googling. I'm not sure who Mr. Dalrymple is supposed to be. The surgeons that I looked up didn't match up with what I saw in that episode. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that episode was kind of all over the place. It was trying to do a lot of things at once. If the previous episode was to show Aziraphale the joys of life, then this episode was showing Crowley the value of it. That what's most important is the effort. And there are a lot of caveats as to why that does apply and why that doesn't apply. I'm not going to go into it because if I did, we'd be here for hours and I don't have that much time to edit. This episode showed me that despite how human these two can seem, that they're still very much not. They know more about humans than the average angel and demon, but they don't know that much. They could have just given her the guineas the whole time. That would have negated the lesson this episode was trying to whatever, is that they had this whole debate about what's good and bad and white and black morality and gray morality when they just could have solved the problem. And I think that's what we as the human observers are supposed to take from this episode, is that as much as Crowley and Aziraphale know, and as human as they seem, they're not, and they really don't know that much. They know enough. After what Crowley did with Nina and Maggie, Crowley is starting to show that he's getting desperate, because Aziraphale could be in danger. He doesn't know why Gabriel's here. He doesn't know why Shax keeps bothering him, and Shax says that, oh, Beelzebub is looking for you, and ever since their last conversation, Beez has kind of left him alone. So he doesn't really know what's going on. He doesn't know what Aziraphale is up to, and he's kind of letting him get on with it because he always comes through in the end. And then you have Gabriel, who he's just kind of babysitting at this point. And I think the things that Gabriel is talking about aren't as big as they're thinking that they will be. Because this story is more character focused, all of these Bible verses that he keeps pulling out of his like dissociation moments, I think those things have already happened, or aren't going to be as bad and as world-shattering as Crowley and Aziraphale think they are. If there was going to be a second apocalypse, he would know. I will say that this episode was trying to do a lot at once, and I don't think it necessarily succeeded. It really did seem kind of all over the place, and to be honest, the conversation with Nina and Maggie seemed to be a fucking leap in logic, where she was like, you're acting like what happened was my fault. I didn't lock us in. And it's like, when did they have that conversation? When did Nina ever hint that it was ever Maggie's fault? This is what I'm talking about shows being too goddamn short. A lot of what Maggie and Nina are talking about seems to be left on the cutting room floor, and it's driving me insane. It does seem like kind of a petty gripe, but it is a gripe nonetheless. I hope that it remains small, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be a little upset, and we're gonna have a repeat of Our Flag Means Death. But while I'm talking about Our Flag Means Death, when it comes to the relationship between Crowley and Aziraphale, Our Flag Means Death could definitely learn something from it. Aziraphale is missing the entitlement that Steed had, and I think that's why I prefer these two, their dynamic, much, much more. After watching 3 episodes of this, that was not my favorite, but I'm sure it will improve. I have faith in this show, as I always have. Now that we're at the halfway point, I will save the theories for next episode about how this is going to end. I will say that I am taking September 1st off, because that is my birthday week. I plan on taking that week quite easy. I already told you why in the community tab, but with that being said, please like if you like this video. Please subscribe if you really like this video and would like to see more. And if you really, really like me and would like to support the channel, you can find me on Patreon, where I post full, uncut reactions the day before they go up on YouTube. And this doesn't just include my reactions, but also uncut versions of my analysis videos and the rewatches I use for those videos. You can find me on any piece of social media, well, 4 pieces of social media right now, because I don't have my Blue Sky invert, because fuck Twitter. I know I haven't been on TikTok lately. Look, I'm getting to it. And with that being said, stay weird, lovelies, and happy eating!